Tomorrow is the auspicious festival of Akshaya Tritiya, and there are many legends associated with it. It is said that the heavenly Ganga descended onto earth on this day. Sudama got the blessings of all the riches from Lord Krishna. Draupadi got the Akshaya Patra from Lord, and also Ved Vyas Rishi narrated the Mahabharata to Lord Ganesha on this day. The sixth incarnation of Lord Vishnu, the Parashuram avatar, is also said to have descended on earth on this holy occasion of Akshaya Tritiya. Let us hear this story today. In the kingdom of Mahishmati, there was a very evil ruler belonging to the Haihaya tribe. He was known as the Kartavirya Arjuna, who had appeased Lord Dattatreya and got the blessing of 1,000 arms, and so he was called Sahasrarjuna. He was so cruel and oppressive that he went about tormenting not only the humans on earth but also the sages and the devatas. Till finally everybody led by Indra went to Lord Vishnu. They begged him to save them from this tormentor. And so, as always, Lord Vishnu assured them that he would take an incarnation on earth and protect all his devotees. He would be born as the son of a Brahmana, but with extraordinary physical powers. And so, there was a strange turn of events that led to the birth of Parashurama. There was a king by the name of Gadhi. He was very noble and he had a daughter Satyavati. In those days, it was common for the daughters of a king to marry some holy sage or rishi, and so Satyavati wedded the son of sage Bhrigu, who was known as Richika. Satyavati served her father-in-law so well that he was pleased and he asked her for a boon. And she, knowing that her mother did not have any other child besides her, asked for a son for herself and a brother. Now, sage Bhrigu was so happy with her, so he gave her 2 jars of kheer or rice mixed with milk, telling that one was for each of them. When Satyavati went happily carrying these jars of kheer and prasadam and told her mother about the whole story, there was unfortunately a mix-up, and so each took the jar meant for the other. Sage Bhrigu, with his yogic shakti, came to know of this exchange, and he sorrowfully told his daughter-in-law that now her brother, though born into a Kshatriya family, would have all the characters of a Brahmana, while she would get a son who would be like a Kshatriya in nature. Now Satyavati pleaded with her father-in-law and begged that her grandson might be such, but her son would be born with all the characters suitable to a sage's family. And so Bhrigu agreed. Now Jamadagni was born to them. Jamadagni studied and mastered the Vedas and in time married Renuka, who was the daughter of a king, Prasenjit. 5 sons were born to them, and the youngest of them was Rama, also known as Bhargava Rama because he belonged to the Bhrigu clan. He was also known as Jamadagnya, being the son of Jamadagni Rishi. He was very muscular, loved to play with weapons, always indulged in kusti and masti, and was very different from what a Brahmana would be. As he grew older, he went to study under the sage Vishwamitra and also his grandfather Richika. But he loved weapons, and wanting to learn more about the mysteries and the use of the celestial weapons, he went to the mountains and began doing penance to appease Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva was very pleased with him and imparted the knowledge of all the divine astras and shastras, and also gifted him with the powerful Parashu or axe. Holding this, he began to be known as the Parashurama, and he came happily back home. But what was the scene that met his eyes? His father Jamadagni stood trembling in anger, while his mother Renuka was shivering in fright. Parashurama came to know that his mother had gone to collect water from the river banks, and there had got distracted by the king of Gandharvas by the name of Chitraratha. In those days, the austerities in the ashram were such that one had to maintain total purity and discipline. Now Jamadagni Rishi was very angry because his wife had got distracted from the path. So he had ordered all his sons to immediately cut off the head of Renuka. The sons were in shock. How could they kill their own mother? And so they refused. At this very moment, Parashurama entered carrying his axe. Jamadagni told him, "You must kill your mother, this is my order." Now, Parashurama was intelligent. He knew that to obey one's father is the highest deed of merit that one can do in one's life. At the same time, he also knew that his father had untold powers and could even revive the dead. And so, without even thinking for a moment, he carried out his father's wish. When his brothers came to stop him, he killed them too with his powerful axe. And as was expected, Sage Jamadagni was very happy with his son and so told him, "You can ask for any boon that you desire." The intelligent Parashurama immediately asked that his mother and his brothers be brought back to life. And not only that, they should have no memory whatsoever of all that had transpired, and they would all continue living as a loving family like before. The sage was very happy with Parashurama's intelligence because this is what he expected from him. And so Renuka and Parashurama's brothers came alive as if they had just woken up from a deep sleep. At the same time, Kartavirya Arjuna was spoiling for a fight. So he approached the ocean, asking for a name of someone who would be an equal and mighty opponent to him. Varuna answered that Parashurama would be more than his equal. So seeking a fighter as an opponent, Kartavirya Arjuna along with his sons came to this ashram. Parashurama had gone out to collect some firewood, and here the noble sage and his wife extended warm hospitality to the king and his sons. They had a holy cow Kamadhenu as a blessing of Lord Indra, and so they could offer a sumptuous feast to their guests. Now the king became greedy because when he came to know that such a cow existed, he felt that he deserved to have it and forcefully took the cow away. When Parashurama came back, he could not stand this injustice, and taking his axe, he stormed out in fury, went to the palace of this cruel ruler, and one by one cut off the 1,000 arms. He killed the king in no time and returned. However, the sons of Kartavirya Arjuna came to have their revenge. And when Parashurama was away in the forest and the sage Jamadagni was seated in meditation, surrounding him in all directions, they shot arrow after arrow. So, painfully and slowly, the sage died. Renuka was in distress. She cried most piteously, and this was the sight that met Parashurama when he returned to the ashram. Seeing his mother in grief and his father lying dead, just like a wounded deer whose body was studded with the arrows, Parashurama took up his axe, with eyes blazing fire, he uttered a vow that he would rid the earth of all the Kshatriyas. He would make Bhudevi Nikshatriya. And he set out. First, he killed all the sons of Kartavirya Arjuna. And then he went to kingdom after kingdom, started killing all the evil kings. 21 times over, he went around the earth and destroyed each and every Kshatriya from the face of this earth. Now a time came where there was no king left to protect the common man. And so, sage Richika, who was his grandfather, came to him. The spirit of his ancestor came and asked him to stop. He said, Parashurama, your work is accomplished. Bhudevi is now rid of the burden and the oppression of the cruel Kshatriyas. Hearing this, Parashurama folded his hands because he respected his ancestors and elders. He decided to give away in charity all that had been acquired after the Kshatriyas had been killed. And so he gave the entire earth to sage Kashyapa and all the wealth to the Brahmanas. Then he threw the axe into the sea. The sea waters receded because of the force of his axe and the land came up. This is known as the Parashurama Kshetra. Right from Gujarat, all along the Malabar coast, from Konkan to Tulunadu to Kerala. This is where the noble Parashurama then decided to reside. He went to the hills of Mahendragiri and started doing penance. It is said that whenever he set out, he would be preceded by storms and lightning, thunder and earthquake. In fact, when Sri Ramji was returning to Ayodhya after his marriage to Sita Devi, Parashurama came and confronted them. They could not understand who this awe-inspiring figure was, with a bow slung over one shoulder and an axe over the other, with a shining arrow held in one hand. Parashurama said, "Stop! I have heard that you dare to break my guru's bow." Now, it was said that Vishwakarma had created exactly two similar bows. One was given to Lord Shiva and the other was given to Lord Vishnu. Lord Shiva's bow was handed down to King Janaka's forefathers, and Lord Vishnu's bow was now carried by Parashurama. So Parashurama told Sri Ramji, "If you manage to string this bow, then I shall agree that you are indeed skilled and strong." Sri Ramji courteously and politely, respectfully prostrated before the bow, took it up in his hands, strung it, fixed an arrow, and then asked Parashurama, "Tell me, what should be the target of this arrow of mine?" If we now wonder how two avatars of Lord Vishnu could be present at one and the same time, let us remember that it is the infinite Lord that we are talking about. He can be present in any number of incarnation, in any number of places at any given time. And so it was that Parashurama and Sri Ramji stood facing each other. Now Parashurama realized that indeed the time had come for the role to be passed over to Sri Ramji. Sri Ramji would continue the good work that an avatar of Lord Vishnu has to do on earth. And so, taking their leave, Parashuram went back to the Mahendra mountains. Seated in penance, he is said to have come again in the Dwapara Yuga, where he became the guru of the mighty Bhishma, Drona and Karna. He is said to be a Chiranjeevi, and so he continues to live on. He is also said to be the Adi Guru of Kalaripayattu, the martial art form of Kerala. Naturally, because Kerala is part of the Parashuram Kshetra. It is also said that when the time comes for Kalki Avatar to descend onto earth, it will be Parashuram who will once again come as a guru. On this holy occasion of Akshaya Tritiya, let us all pray to Lord Parashuram that we may get the courage and the will to fight against any injustice that we may encounter in our lives. I will be back next Thursday with another story. Until we meet again, Hari Om.